2 carbons, 6 hydrogens, and 1 oxygen atom. Through a few covalent bonds, you get a chemical with monstrous addictive capabilities. It has been around since the biblical era and has evolved into a $400 billion market with sophisticated marketing strategies. The evolution of this market has caused the act of drinking to become a social norm in present-day society. Alcohol's promise of a good time has grown to be very attractive to people under the legal drinking age, who are more susceptible to the dangers of alcohol and thus the downward spiral of addiction.
The objective was crystal clear. So even though I didn't drink a lot in high school, every time I drank to get drunk, and that was the end goal. I mean, I was a musician, but I was in it as much to party as I was to play the music, if not more. And ultimately, the drinking sort of won out.
If the frontal lobe's not fully developed, they're not going to be able to make rational decisions that are based on higher level thought. And if they can't make those decisions, they're going to take risks and not be able to calculate what are the effects of this decision that I'm going to make here.
When one drinks during the development of the brain, they can adopt a reliance on alcohol that hangs on to them for the rest of their life. The psyche and relationship with others can also be caught in the crossfire of underage drinking, which causes people to become distant as it occupies and controls their life.
So trust would be words and actions matching over time. So what happens with the alcoholic is that often the alcohol becomes their best friend as a replacement to other friends.
The mystery was more about sort of, well, what's going to happen next, not, well, what's the problem. But it definitely impacted, and probably more so on my own. I would distance myself again, sort of out of this weird, screwy, sort of hard to explain desire to, like I said, be there but want to get away. So definitely impacted my relationships with my family.
The addictive habits inherited when people drink underage can transfer over into adulthood and can even grow in severity since the alcohol is much easier to obtain. Many times, these habits lead to an alcoholic lifestyle and can cause tension to form within a family or friendship. Emotional tension and social isolation are parts of a much greater reality for family and friends nationwide. Every year, underage drinking takes the life of 350,000 kids, ages 15 through 19 years old. If you assume every one of those 350,000 kids comes from a typical 4-person household, you can say that it affects over 1.4 million lives annually, not including the friends of those lost. With mortality rates this high, alcoholism has become one of the leading health problems in America. Keeping yourself out of situations where drinking is present and simply saying no when offered alcohol can be difficult. When handed a drink, try to think of the consequences and give a reason why you cannot or do not want to drink. A few simple solutions are: tell them you are driving, or that you're in a sport and don't want to deal with the consequences, or you simply don't feel like it tonight. People are more likely to respect your decision if you have a reason. How else can underage drinking be prevented? Parents can talk to their children about alcohol's short-term and long-term effects. Substance abuse prevention programs such as DARE and SAD can teach that the negatives outweigh the benefits. Whether it is a case of law, a falling out with loved ones, social embarrassment, or the veering development of the brain, the creation of an addiction at a young age has always been a problem. As we face this problem, it is our obligation to help ourselves and others in these times of short-sighted decisions. We need to press the battle against addiction.